My name is Ben Selkow. I'm the director, producer, and writer of Buried Above Ground, which follows 3 stories of PTSD survivors and their roads to recovery over 6 years. My first film that I directed was on bipolar disorder, and that came out in '07 on Sundance Channel, or Sundance Channel back then, Sundance TV now. It was called A Summer in the Cage. And as I was touring with that, I got more involved with the mental health community in terms of outreach and advocacy. Also, kind of the height of the Iraq War in terms of folks coming home and the conversation beginning to be brokered around PTSD and what do we do with our veterans coming home and the lack of services. So I wanted to do something about that, really look at the impact, consequences of war, aftermath, after the shock and awe. What is life like afterwards? As I was doing research on PTSD, I found that the biggest population are not veterans, in fact, but rather the domestic violence, child abuse, sexual assault survivors. This kind of more silenced community where the trauma happens in a private theater versus the public theater. There's a whole other population, a massive one, that was with no voice, with no kind of way to activate action for justice, or even within the court system, lobby for legislative relief in terms of getting mental health services, social services. And so looking at the women and children, it's like, whoa, it's something, that's a really strange connection between war with soldiers and war in homes with children and women, kind of diametrically opposed populations in terms of vulnerability, and that connection was really fascinating. So I cast 3 characters, 3 subjects in the film to follow and see what life was like, when the cameras disappear. What is life like in the aftermath of trauma as survivors coping with PTSD? When someone in a screening after or before thanks you for making it, and they've got tears in their eyes and they don't only share the experience that is informing their emotional reaction, but you know that they've either seen something, had a parent, a friend, a child, even worse, go through something extremely acute with regards to a mental health condition, and this breaks them out of that isolation that as a parent or as a friend that they were feeling, or they have the lived experience themselves, and they realize that I'm not alone, I don't have to be ashamed, I don't have to be feel badly about myself, that this is a lot of us, and it's not them or other, it's us. And so when you know that you are alleviating someone just for a moment of isolation, which is such a crippling condition, existentially, spiritually, psychically, psychologically, emotionally, that's extremely validating of the work put into the film. And it goes, you just become grateful for all the filmmakers that helped you make it, the funders that helped you make it, the subjects, Luis, Ashley, and Arendina, who decided to participate in it, put themselves out there. It's extremely humbling because, okay, for a moment you've lifted someone's experience and hopefully help someone in a small way, and that's why you do this.